Mr Stewart, I now call Stephen Kerr to be followed by Jamie Hepburn. Around 4 minutes. Mr Kerr.
Well, I'm pleased to follow Kevin Stewart giving his last address to the Scottish Parliament, and of course I wish him personally all the very best. And he's right, of course, as was Murdo Fraser and Kenny Gibson, to highlight the response of the communities of Scotland and the resilience of the Ukrainian people. Ukraine is fighting for its survival and our freedom. And it's right that we take this time in Parliament to place on record our solidarity with the Ukrainian people and with the brave men and women of the Ukrainian armed forces defending their country. We should be no doubt about what this war is. It's not a misunderstanding, it's not a border dispute. It is a criminal and illegal invasion ordered by Vladimir Putin. He has behaved not as a statesman, but as a gangster. The destruction of cities, the deaths and industries of tens of thousands of civilians, the displacement of millions are the direct consequences of his aggression. And in recent months, the scale of the attacks has intensified. Ukrainian cities are being subject to mass drone and missile strikes night after night. Hundreds of drones in a single wave, dozens of missiles fired in one barrage, power stations destroyed, homes flattened, children killed, families left in the winter without heat or electricity. These are not legitimate military targets. They are acts of terror directed at a civilian population. Let us not forget this. Against that brutality stands the extraordinary courage of the Ukrainian people. We should also remember the many Ukrainian women and children who came here to Scotland, as has been mentioned at the beginning of this conflict, and how the communities of Scotland have stepped forward. Britain has the right to stand firmly with Ukraine and has been right to stand firmly with Ukraine. The training given by British forces and the equipment supplied has mattered enormously, but this is not the moment for any slackening of that commitment. Ukraine's security is bound up with our own national interest. The war in Ukraine indeed is teaching us a hard lesson that drone warfare at scale is now the weapon of choice in these conflicts. It has also taught us the critical importance of air defence and the need to provide munitions in serious quantities. That is the reality, and those lessons must be learned quickly. Britain must increase defence spending. We must expand the munitions production we have here. We must invest in systems that defend our homeland against mass drone and missile attack. We should be stockpiling drones. We should be strengthening ground-based air defences. In time, Britain will need its own equivalent of an Iron Dome. But this is not just about equipment, it's about people. We need to encourage more young Scots into the defence industry, into engineering, into advanced manufacturing, into apprenticeships in the high-tech drone sector that is, as I said, reshaping modern warfare. These are skilled, high-value jobs for young people of Scotland, and they are critical to our national security. That is why the position of the SNP at times is so frankly frustrating. Warm words about Ukraine mean very little if there is hesitation about the industrial effort required to produce the munitions and equipment Ukraine actually needs. These are serious times and they demand serious politics. Now, the international community must remain firm. Sanctions on Russia must not weaken. There are suggestions in the light of tensions in the Middle East that oil and gas sanctions should be released. That would be a profound mistake. It would be a betrayal of our values. Russia's war must not be financed by the very revenue sanctions were designed to constrain. The only way to protect peace, Presiding Officer, is to be strong in the face of aggression. Britain must stand, we must stand firmly beside Ukraine until this war ends in a just peace and in their victory, because aggression must never be rewarded.